number 5 seed going into the number 2 seed. Bucks taking on Saints. This is a rematch.
Triple
divisional.
rematch.
Yeah, this will be the third matchup of the year. Saints taking the first two. This time it's in New Orleans. Saints have looking good. Drew Brees is back. Obviously, he proves he deserves to be here. Beat a very good Bears defense. Put a hurting on him, actually. And the Saints D looked pretty good against them as well. That was obviously a close game between Washington, especially with Washington having a 4-string quarterback in. The Bucks barely managed to scrape by.
Was it really a good
Congratulations, Tom Brady, on making sure you got some more playoff stats that don't really matter.
Broke the record of most playoff wins.
Anyways, so Bucks are planning on going to New Orleans and hopefully getting an upset by winning the third matchup. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Saints,
third time's a charm,
yet again come in here. They do what they do best. That's put a hurting on Tom Brady, especially when it comes to the Drew Brees versus Tom Brady talk.
I love those games.
And all the stats that matter, Drew Brees is the man. Now, obviously, with the numbers this year, with Drew Brees being hurt and only playing in 13 games, he still had less interceptions and had a better quarterback rating. So I'll take the guy who's more consistent and who makes less mistakes. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you look at their roster, they're a much better team than everybody.
Yeah, offensively.
But
except for the Chiefs.
Except for the Chiefs, I'd probably say. But when you're at 11-5, obviously, that's ifs and buts. And, if those were candy and nuts, then, Tampa Bay might be 13-3 and, the Saints would be 11-5. Who knows? I think the Saints are a much better team. They proved it already twice this year. Drew Brees goes and sees another NFC championship, and he takes on Aaron Rodgers. The Bears were a much easier road for you, obviously. No matter which way you look at it, whether you're playing Packers, Rams, or Bucks, these are very good teams. It's crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Saints know that. They've been here time and time again. They have way more playoff experience, way more chemistry. On the ground, Saints look good. Through the air, Saints look good. But I think if the Saints defense can show up, they should have no problem beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I took the Saints in this one, no problem.
Well, they've showed up twice when they've played them already. I don't see why they wouldn't the third time. Last week they showed up and, like we said, held the Bears to 9 points. I know that offense, everybody was giving so many shout-outs to the Bears. Oh, my God, they're averaging 30 points. And what happened in the last two weeks they've played? Packers held them to, 15, 16? And then they got held to 9 by the Saints, which has a much superior defense than the Green Bay Packers do. And I actually think the Saints have a better defense than the Bucs do right now. You can say what you want, but when they have played him, he's only thrown 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions this year. Tom Brady versus Saints, averaging 224 passing yards, and they've been beat by a total of whatever it was, 45 points in those 2 matchups. Second game didn't go their way at all. Run game was non-existent. I'm going to tell you right now that this run game will be non-existent again because they have the best run defense there is in the Saints. And that run offense, even with Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette, you can throw whoever the fuck the 9 running backs they got that they picked up in free agencies this year by the Bucs, and they're going to get stopped.
I think if the Bucs played like they played against Washington, they absolutely have no chance against the Saints.
They get beat. Like, you have to stop 2 quarterbacks and 3 if you really want to bring in the mix. Even if they took out Drew Brees out of this game for some reason of rib injury or something like that.
Very reliable.
Hill, and then you got Jameis Winston you can throw in there too. People can say what they want about him, but he can still throw the fucking ball better than I think Taysom Hill. I'm just saying. But anyways, you're going to have to look out for Alvin Kamara. Yeah, Michael Thomas is back. He had a pretty good game last time. Michael Thomas did play in these 2 matchups before, but was pretty much non-existent. He had 51 yards one game and 17 the next, still beat him twice. The second game, he only had 17 receiving yards, T-ball, and they murdered him 38-3. Sean Payton is one of the greatest coaches and underrated, if in my opinion, in anything. The guy just knows how to win.
Who dat?
Now, again, if he loses Drew Brees, though, I think you'll see some stats decline. It's just like the Bill Belichick, Tom Brady thing. You'll see a few things because those are great quarterbacks. But I think they have a great game plan coming into this. They've already beat him twice. This is a division opponent. They hate each other. This is the GOAT versus GOAT conversation if you really want to talk about it because they have all the records. Mm-hmm. I mean, and Drew Brees is out here trying to win. I think this is truly Drew Brees' last year. Win or loss, he's done. And this is a game where he's not going to lose to Tom Brady. And
I wouldn't want my last loss to be
to Tom Brady, yeah.
he's
Because
like,
it's
well,
going to make you come back.
Who's the guy that
You're going to want to come back
yeah.
and go beat him again next year. I mean, you've already beat him twice. This is when it counts, and I think that defense is just so phenomenal by the Saints, especially run teams. They're only averaging or allowing teams to run for 50 yards in the regular season.
I'm
Come
looking
on now.
at Tampa Bay. They're still they're still struggling in the rushing. I mean,
28th.
almost last in the rush. So.
I know Drew Brees has looked a little sad and not his regular mechanical throws that he normally makes, but he is dealing with those injuries, but he's trying to fucking win. I just think he's too much clutch. I looked at them to lose for the third time. Tom Brady's done. And everybody's going to make excuses. I'm saying it now. When he loses, Tom Brady loses this game. Everybody's going to go, well, it's his first year with that team. It's a new team, new coach, and blah, blah, blah. You had every statistical aspect on your team, offensively and defensively, to help you win virtually every. You should have the same record as the Chiefs.
Welcome to the NFC.
Just saying. So no, I want to hear those excuses. But yes, if they do beat them, yeah, I'll man up to it. Go ahead, you beat them. Sure. But that's also because I'm not even going to get into it. So whatever, T-Ball, take us out.
You had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. You're not taking them this week.
No.
We're both taking the Saints. I know we're hating a little bit. Who cares? It's our show. We'll do what we want.
That's right.
But you can always like and subscribe.
And have the power to comment.
You can see why. Anyways, always keep it locked, bringing you the last NFC divisional playoffs. Guys, I'm your boy T-Ball.
I'm Mr. Bradley. You stay classy, YouTube.
Thanks for stopping by.